Now then, we've got a little bit of a project on here. It's straightening out some of these harvester bars. And you know, when you're harvesting hardwoods, firewood, with a harvester, then the bars do get wrecked. Yeah, and that one is just way beyond because of this nasty kink here. Yeah. So I've robbed the nose out of it to go into another one. And the other problem you can get with these bars is when they twist like that along the length. Even in the press, it's really difficult to get rid of that. To get rid of it sufficiently so that it cuts straight. The slightest bit of bend and it will just jam up. So, you know, there's a lot of time when they're scrap. Also, and this one's alright because I've sorted it out, but this groove here can get widened at this end. And I made a special jig to go in the press so that we can press those back together to make sure that that is then parallel. So what with getting them straight and getting that right and sorting out the nose bearings where they're seized up or broken, there's quite a lot involved in recycling these bars. However, that's not this video's not totally about this. It's about another way that I've developed of putting a nose bearing in one of these bars. You can see that one, all the holes, there are no rivets, there's no nose bearing. So let's crack on. There's one of the sprockets, and yeah, I've developed this. It's just an improvement on technique and I thought it'd be worth showing. Right, let's crack on. Right, so the first thing is to get a bit of sander belt doubled over and really clean out in here. Remove the rust. Really get it quite clean. That's going to pull together, so don't worry about that. But really backwards and forwards. So then when you slide the new nose cassette in there, or the rebuilt one, then there's the least amount of resistance. It's worth getting it really clean, or as clean as you can. Okay, that nose, where are we? It's cleaned out. Now let's have a look in here. We've got a nose bearing and we've got an inner there. Just clean that up a bit. Is that a crack there? Yeah, it looks like there's a crack there. So we'll scrap that one. That looks better. Yeah, bit of a burr there. Hopefully that looks all right. Yeah. Very good. Okay, that goes there and that goes there. This one, yeah, there's definitely a crack there. It might only be surface, but I doubt if you'll be able to see it. I don't know whether you can see it, but there's no point going to all this effort if you're going to put a faulty bit of kit in there. So we've got some relatively shiny bearings in here, and it's 2 pairs of glasses time. Oh, that's better. Now some people would say you want to put some grease in here now, and other people would go, that just makes everything stick. So we're going to try it without grease to start with, and then put the grease in afterwards. There's another bit of muck there. Okay, so let's see how we get on. I don't think fiddly is the word for this. You've got to have a bit of patience. So those who've got a short attention span, then we need a screwdriver, need a pokey instrument as well. That'll do. Then you need to sort of do a bit and then go away and then come back again and do another bit. If you put them edge on like that, then they'll just flip like that. If you put them sideways like that, should we zoom down a little bit? And then we want to come down a bit like that. Yeah, if you put them sideways like that, you'll never do any good. So it's almost like grab hold of the tweezers and put them in like that, and then just flip them over. This seems to be working. So it's like, don't try and just put them down like that, because it's really difficult. And get your best glasses on, or 2 pairs. So we'll just, there we go. See how fiddly these are? But it's worth putting the time and effort in. I did do a video a while ago. Well, it's probably 2 or 3 years or 4 years ago. I can't really remember. Up at the sawmill, and I was welding bar ends on, cutting the end off one bar and at an angle splay, and then putting it on another bar. This one's been a bit awkward. There we go. And that's sort of alright, but not really. Right, that one doesn't want to go in there. I don't know what's going on there. But it's not really that good. Cutting the end off and welding another end on at an angle. So I think you're better off doing it this way. Probably takes longer, and it just depends how good the bars are that you're fixing. They are a consumable. I mean, like on chainsaws, just the standard motor manual handheld chainsaw, the bars do wear out in the end, and it just depends how much grief you give them, and how good your maintenance is, and all those sorts of things. We did do, this is a long time ago now, we did do an experiment of using motor oil, new clean motor oil, as chain oil against proper bar and chain oil, and after a couple of hours, the one with the motor oil you needed to adjust the chain, and the one with the bar and chain oil you didn't. So that's just the wear. I'm just trying to pick out the shiny ones here, because there's quite a lot of rusty rollers here. And you might think that, yeah, that's common sense, because chain oil is designed to cling on, but there's all sorts of other factors as well. You know, the correct chain tension. Too tight, you'll damage stuff. Too slack, you'll create a lot more wear. Now that's gone wrong. Are we still in? We are. Put it sideways and then flip it over. Put another one there. Come on, you should get in there. No, it doesn't want to. Let's just roll these round a bit. One of them's flipped over. Just, the slightest little bit of grit will not help. Hence I'm picking out all the shiny ones. There's a couple. This is giving me grief, this is. You can see how you need to have a bit of patience. Come on. There we go. Yeah. Put another one there. We're getting there. Now, you've got to be careful here. Keep rolling it around, but keep pressing it down, or else it'll rise up, and then all your good work will have been lost. Right, I've just put the some of the rollers in a jar. I have been shaking it for a while, just to clean them up a bit better. We were getting the odd minute bit of grit, so let's just crack on. So let's just see how we get on now, apart from the rolling away. And that one's got muck on it now. Okay, they look a bit cleaner. And there was one that went down there. Put it sideways, let it fall over. Put it sideways and we fall over. This is just one of those things that you've got to take a zen approach to it. No point being wound up and being in a rush. We don't like that one. There's hopefully a good one. I mean, I know some of you will say, well, you need to put new rollers in there. But you know, this bar might only last 5 hours, 10 hours, half an hour. Just depends on the circumstances, you know. Some of these hardwoods can be really quite tricky. Especially if the crown is to one side, so the weight's all over to one side, you can quite easily, you know, it can, the whole tree can twist. And with the bar sort of in the bottom of the tree still, having cut 3/4 the way through, even though it's on a huge machine, yeah, it can go desperately wrong. Don't like that one. Don't like that one at all. Don't like that one either. You got any cleaner ones? Put it in sideways. A bit tight. Okay, we've got all those bearings in there. So now see, you've got to be really careful. So the greasy finger has picked one of those bearings up. It's done. There we go. So we've got gently put some grease on there like that. Okay. Then when I did this recently, you get a bit of newspaper. Okay, and just poke that down on there like that. So the grease sticks it down. So we just clean this off so it's not sticking to anything. Alright, and then gently, there. They're all in place. I'm not going to touch that surface at all. Are we still recording? We are. Right, let's get rid of these rollers. Put the top on the grease. Those are old rivets, we don't want those. And most of these bearings are too rusty to use, really. Surface rust. But I could put them in the jar and I don't know, every once in a while just give them a good shaking and that might help. So where are we? Here's the bar. Now where has the... there it is. So now we need to oil in there, but I don't want to put oil onto my work surface, so let's put a piece of cloth down here. We want oil throughout this so it all runs smooth. Plenty of oil. We've already cleaned this slot out. Yeah. Can we see all right? We can. Right. So we've got the piece of paper holding it in place. We've got grease. No, we haven't. We've got oil. We're nearly there. It's a little bit tight. That's one. So there we go. So that's in place now. Yeah. Good. Good. The rollers are not going to come out. And as you can see, the paper slowly disintegrates. Yeah, that all just won't working together. Now then, the last thing I want to talk about is the homemade rivets. Now, there are two different 4-inch nails here. That one's got a thick head, that one's got a thin, and it's a countersunk head. Yeah, so I use those ones. Yeah. So let me get a bar that I've done some of the work on. So here's one. Where are we? So that is one of these heads. Yeah, and some of these are also riveted. So I put that through there. Like that. Now I had a pen somewhere. Let me just find this pen. Here we go, I found it. So all I do, okay, is just mark that like that with one of these indelible pens, and then I'm going to cut that off. I did look in the box of rivets that came from Uncle Harold's workshop, and they were mainly aluminium. So I'm just going to cut that off. I'll be back with you in a minute. Right, well, all that went wrong. So I've formatted the card and changed the battery because we lost the footage. So I've sawn this off. Where are we? They're on the outside of the mark. So this is long enough. And these holes here, once I punch the original rivets out, I've countersunk them. Okay, so that allows room for that head, otherwise that will be sticking out. Right, we're on a big block of steel, and that end of the bar is supported. Now, noise alert, so I'm using a ball peen hammer. You're going to use this end to start with, and then this end. So I shall turn the volume down once I've started. So we just work our way around everything. Right, there we go. That one's riveted in place, and the new nose is there. If you want to, you could just run a file over there, and these are fairly flush. You could smooth that off if you wanted to. Yeah, job done. And it's all falling apart. Right. Okay, so that was a bit chaotic really. I don't know what happened. I've been using that video card for quite a while, so maybe it just wanted formatting. It seems to be behaving itself now. So that's another bar saved recycled, whatever you want. To fight another day. Any comments I'd be interested in. Nice to have a chat about this, that and the other. And I shall be cracking on with the next project. I shall catch up with you soon. Cheers for now.